this rhetoric from white people, man, is what I'm saying.
Hey
That's
y'all,
it. That's
I'll
what.
be the only
That's
time I
what.
interrupt is trying to introduce people because people get up here and they get mad because we don't introduce them. So hold on. That's the only time I'll try to
That's
interrupt y'all.
weird as hell.
It's not weird because you know when you get on panels and people don't acknowledge you, that's kind of fucked up a little bit.
No, I always was taught when you walk in my house, you say hi. When you
Hey
get up in the
Trinity.
morning, you
Hey
speak to
Trinity.
me.
I'm hospitable unlike some people up in here.
You from the south?
No, I'm from. I guess people be trying to say Virginia is the South. It is not the South. I
It's the
don't get
East
it.
Coast.
Yeah, but like they be like, oh, it's Southern, like Southern kind of hospitality bullshit. I'm like, I don't get it, but people say that all the time about Virginia. But anyways, Philly, were you done? Can we go?
Absolutely not. Because the money doesn't make him who he is. He would just simply be a person who makes money. So, for instance, I make more money than my husband, but my husband leads because of who he is, not because of what he has. Right? Now, the thing about money in my household, the way that it works, it's not a my money, your money. It's just money. So he brings in money, I bring in money, and together there's money. And it's no different than like for me, I don't own anything, right? So I don't own a pair of shoes. I just wear those shoes. So it's not a thing where it's my shoes. It's where's the shoes that I wear type attitude, mentality. And when you have that mentality of it's just simply an object and not something to be admired for, then relationships will be able to move smoothly and fluently because now you are just with the person and not for what they have. Secondly, I think that a woman from my belief system should not be running a relationship. My husband is the head. I am the neck. I support him. I keep him balanced. I keep him straight, so to speak. And as the head, he leads the relationship. He guides me even in my own thing. So when it's about an objective thing like money, that means that tells me that that woman doesn't need any leadership skills. She doesn't need any social skills. She doesn't need to be equipped. She doesn't need to measure up. She just simply needs to have money to be a leader. And that's not what leadership is about. I yield.
Thank you, Trinity. I do agree. Whether I am strong-willed in myself, but no, I value men so much. Like I value what they bring to the table, bring to society, bring to life. A good man, not just a man who has, genitalia. A good, solid
Whoa.
man.
Whoa, a hard man.
Yeah, my thing is
It
this:
can be hard sometimes.
if it's your man, he should already be good. So
Hey,
whenever
Trinity,
I'm sorry, yeah.
I want to ask you this, and this is not any malice, but it sounds like that you had a father that was consistent, and I might be wrong, but was your father in your life a lot?
Yeah, I lived with my dad between the ages of 12 through 14.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And that's like when I hear a lot of women speaking, it's like fathers haven't been around to raise wives. Because I was kicking it with some Spanish people, and they're like family to me. I'm hoping ICE don't find them, but like
Oh, that's crazy. Hey, just
no,
want to
it's for real
introduce
though.
OG and hey CFO. Appreciate y'all for going. Go ahead, Chanel.
But I think because my wife, her father was in her life, he still is, and sometimes it's overbearing, but I let her have that because she's an amazing woman. I think because not saying nothing about her mother. Her mother is absolutely wonderful too. But when you have that male in your life, that authority, that figure from an early age, you got tough skin. You don't get wound up because a man say, well, you make more than me, but you spend more than me. And that's the thing too. A lot of women make more than the man, but the man knows how to catch a sale. I'm not going to pay this for that when we can go get buy one, get two free. You know what I'm saying? So I taught the hustle mentality and to be able to, because my wife, when I first met her, she would just be like, I'm hungry. Let's go get whatever. And it'd be like, wait, we could split that. And I'm not trying to, and that's where this app comes in crazy because a lot of people would bash me for that. But that's where what y'all talking about is the leadership. And my wife is like, you're right. Like, I've been doing this all wrong. So when they make more money, that don't mean they can run it because actually that gives a man, if she truly trusts him, more shit to run.
Yeah, I was blessed to not only have my biological dad in my life the way that I did, because he showed me how a father loves his child, but I was also blessed to have a stepdad who was with my mom since I was at the age of 8 and until the day he passed, and I was in my 40s. So I had that opportunity to see how a husband treats a wife. So I will say that I have been blessed, more so than others. And I am truly grateful for both of them and my mom for being who she is so that I can have the exposure of those two great gentlemen.
That's beautiful.
Yes, big ups to mom for picking some good ones. We're gonna go to
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
Thanks, Chinook. We're gonna go to OG and then we'll go to CFO. Hey, OG.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good. What you think about the prompt?
I mean, what Trinity just said makes sense. I was gonna say it's kind of like, is this more so you dealing with? I mean, none of us are gonna deal with Oprah, but I mean, shit, you got an Oprah on your team. How you gonna tell Oprah what to do? how you gonna manage Oprah? How you gonna manage somebody of that stature? Somebody you land that makes that. But if she, I'm sure she's like a nurse and you work at Walmart, she probably ain't gonna even want to run a relationship. She probably gonna still want you to be at least a man. That's probably why she attracted to you, cause she gonna want you to be a man. So
yep.
I think you different with you got that question is, if you level it off on different levels of different women that you're talking about, then you'll really have some controversy there.
Hey, OG.
What's up?
So check this out. What if they reversed it and said, just because you a masculine man, do that mean you run the relationship? And it's like, oh boy, they dropped him, but he was like, I'm a motherfucking man. I run that. I feel that to an extent because that's the natural order. But some dudes ain't deserving of that.
Right.
I don't know if this dude, you gotta be deserving of that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to find a good woman and then trying to lead her, and I'm not even leading myself.
I'll tell you right now, like a lot of my sister, she's a doctor. She's not looking for somebody to come in her life and tell her what to do. My sister has run off every man because
wow,
she's a alpha woman, and she don't care because she has made it to a stature in her life to where, and I mean, she's safe. She old and alone.
Hey, you could make some money off that.
Or she just find a lot of weak men, OG. Is it possible that the men that you find
he just coined a term. He just coined a term.
For sure.
He said alpha woman, and I've never heard that before, even though people have said that. But
yeah, well, she expresses as an alpha woman.
hey, say this. out
There's
female.
always new labels being
She's an
put
out
on
female
generation by
or out
generation.
female.
I don't look at her as that, but I'm just saying, according to me being around her and knowing her life, shit. Yeah, that's how she.
Hey, OG, is it possible that the men that she just keep finding are just weak men?
No,
Is that a
that's not
possibility?
it. No,
I would
Well,
that's
that's
not
choosing to
it.
accept
Hold
it.
on.
No, it's just it's how
told
she.
you
That's
right
not it
now.
at
I
all.
can answer that. I can
Hey,
answer it.
one
I
person,
never said it was
one mic.
it. I said it's a
Sorry.
possibility.
Yeah, I can answer it.
And I was talking to OG.
Yeah,
Just
one
say, I can
mic.
answer it. I can say that. Yeah, man. Like some of them, but not all of them.
Can
But
I pop
I
in?
think I'm also a person.
One
of
second,
numbers.
CFO, I see you.
I'm a person of numbers. So if I see that you got 7 people in the room that don't like you, hey, you might want to look at yourself at one point in time. If you got these amount of men that have like walked away because you are this person, you try to command every room, you try to silence every person, you are the biggest brain in the building all the time, everywhere you go. She doesn't take she doesn't take a soft role and sit, and chill. But so I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
but
that
OG,
they're
the
all soft.
But OG, the implication there is that all men, right, want a soft, feminine women, right? Like that's the implication that you're adding into that statement, right? Because different people are going to want different things, and if you're looking in the wrong place for people, then you're going to constantly find bad people, right? Because you're looking in the wrong place. Those people that you're finding them in those particular places, they don't work for you. So maybe you need to look a different place to find people that will more likely align with the way that you operate in your life.
Yeah. She gotta find him. I don't know what she got.
At CFO,
Hey, I'm gonna
thank
love
you.
her and make her go make that money. I'm gonna love her so good. I'm gonna do whatever she asks. Hey, yep, you got it.
Thank you.
Make all that money.
Thank you.
Make it, baby.
Thank you.
And most times,
Thank you.
Look, hold on, wait.
No, you
Just
wait.
this. Hold on, wait.
It's not your turn.
No, wait.
CFO, go ahead. You can go, sir.
Taking the money before you win.
There is no skipping the. You guys spoke, and now it's his turn.
No, but she.
My
That's all
God.
I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, CFO.
Hey, yeah, good morning. Thanks for bringing me up on the panel. I like what a lot of people are saying here. I think the thing that hasn't been said, I'll just add to, is the fact that why this prompt, most times women, that should not be the what I call the indicator to why she should lead. Largely in part because of the fact that we both are, men and women have both feminine and masculine traits. And women don't want the cost of leadership because that leans into more of the masculine traits that's required. And so what that looks like is the idea that good leadership, because we know the idea of a good man or a bad woman, you wouldn't choose somebody who's not. So you obviously believe that the person you're with is good. That's why you're with them. So it really comes back to choice of what do you want to be in your relationship. Most men want to lean into their masculine traits, which leadership is one of them. Leadership looks like a person who has to be mindful of everybody's needs, everybody's best interest before their own, oftentimes. You have to be the example for others to follow. And so if women aren't willing to do that, that's where the problem comes in, because they're not wanting to put their own personal needs last and want to look out for everybody else's, i.e. their husband. So right away, there comes a leadership problem in her. There becomes a problem in her leadership ability in a relationship. Now, to what I think another gentleman mentioned in reference to alpha this, alpha that, these are new terms. They're terms that we label, and obviously, oftentimes people don't even have the same definition, so you're not even sometimes having the same conversation, though you're using the same words. But I think it's disingenuous when we often quickly fall upon the idea of grabbing labels, because it's just like a pro or a con. Is an alpha woman a good or bad thing? I like an alpha-minded woman, but the question is, can she regulate or manage when to exercise it? Because I may desire a feminine woman, and so in an alpha-like way, when I'm not leading and when I'm not available, let's say you have a two-parent household where she is at home, she has to have or exercise some alpha-like or masculine-like trait to care for our children, to make decisions when I'm not around. The ones that are so feminine that they can't, they're the ones picking on the phone, go, baby, what do we do? I don't know what. Hell no. I need you to protect our village, protect our castle, protect our wealth, whatever that looks like. So I land there.
Thank you for that.
That
All
was
right.
the best shit I heard. Fuck all the news media and everything. That was the best shit I
Oh,
heard.
and back up. My apologies. Just one more thing. And just for those who, and I think somebody talked about, you can't lead Oprah, you sure can. You know why? Because she has a financial advisor who leads her. She has a spiritual leader. Who
Wow.
leads her. See, she
I'm talking
picks
about
and chooses when.
Hey, you a genius,
picks
bro.
and
I
chooses.
followed you.
I was talking about her husband,
Listen.
like.
She can be led. The reality is that if you're thinking about oneness when it comes to marriage or a relationship, guess what? A leader will put the person who's best fit in the role where it's needed. It doesn't mean you're in charge. You got CEOs who got CFOs. That's why that's my name, right?
So
That
what does
says,
CFO?
my boss don't know a
what
damn
does
thing
CFO mean? Let's tell the people what CFO is.
Okay. CFO is a chief financial officer. So my boss, who's a CEO, chief executive
Oh, I
officer,
followed you like 2 days ago. That's why I'm on here now. Yeah. Yep.
That's what's good. That's what's good. Appreciate you. Much love. So, my boss, she flat out tells everybody, listen, I try to stay out of the CFO's office because I don't do finances. She's focused on generating money for the corporation. She's focused on marketing and speaking on our behalf on the podcast and the different panels and board meetings and things of that nature. But when it comes to the numbers, she's looking at me like, Reginald, like, boom. So, yes, you can be led and you make the most money. But by all means, she knows that her strengths lie in what she does. She knows the strengths, and this is good leadership. That's why I say don't pick the person that's just like you. Pick the person where you're weakest in. But you got to know yourself first.
Wait, pick a weak person?
No.
Bro, you got
You are weak.
They're strong where you're weak.
Bro, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But
You want,
But
you
you-
want
but
yin
too
and
many
yang,
people-
Chanel.
but too many people
You
don't know
want to complete
themselves.
the circle with two different attributes.
I
Right.
get it.
What is it? The Asian call it the yin and the yang. You know how that little circle is
Yeah.
complete.
Yep.
For sure.
You
no,
right. Hey.
Appreciate it.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, he just put it right there.
Hey, Sunshine. Good morning. How you feeling, love?
Yes, girl. How are you? Good morning.
She high. She high. She took her last sip. She took her last drink.
Hold on, bro.
A drink? Come on. Don't do that. Sunshine, how you doing this morning? You wanna just rest and look at the convo, or you wanna you wanna say something?
I'ma light raw ass up. You wait till I finish. Boy, I came on this panel just for you.
What I do?
Wait till the company leave. We'll wait till the company leave, okay? Don't let the outsiders hear what's going on the inside, okay?
Hey,
If I may say something regarding, being told what to do. So I, as a submissive wife, my husband never, I'm not gonna say he never tells me what to do, but it's not a thing of where he's telling me what to do. I ask him what would he like to see done. And then he tells me what he would like to see done. And then I get it done. He doesn't tell me how to do it. He just tell me what he wants done because again,
Wow.
I'm his helpmeet. So it wouldn't even matter how much money I can bring in. I will always be submissive to him. If I was a billionaire, I would be submissive to him because he brings the mind of God in our marriage and I bring the heart of God in our marriage. And therefore, that's how the two flesh become one.
Trinity, I love that.
I know what makes
With
me
my-
mad the most because my wife
my God.
is just like that. My wife is just like that.
Chanel.
Hold on, let me say. Can I say one thing?
No, you've said
All
a lot
go
of
ahead,
things.
Go ahead. You can
said a lot
talk
of
all
things.
day. I'll let you keep talking. Though.
I have been talking. You've commented on everything everyone has said, so relax yourself, okay? And look at the screen, so when you see somebody's box light up, you don't interject as well, okay?
Come
So-
through, Sydney. That's what I'm talking about. Come through, moderator.
I'm just saying, look, it's kind of you're not paying
I
attention.
didn't
But
cut
anyway,
her off. You can ask her right now. She spoke.
you
I
did
didn't
cut me
her
off, and I was speaking because you weren't paying attention.
No, you. I didn't cut her off.
Okay.
After she
Anyways.
spoke, I started speaking, and you
Exactly.
cut me off.
You've done it after
Hey,
everybody has
y'all.
spoke. Relax yourself.
Good
Like I said,
morning.
Dude, I'm
Good
on a whole
morning.
laptop right now. I could
Good
replay it
morning.
right back to you
Good
if you want me
morning.
to.
Okay, you can. Go ahead. Anyways,
All right, it'll take
So-
me 2 seconds. You want me to?
I don't care. Be quiet.
Okay, all right.
This is not your
You got
show.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, thank you. So, like I said, to be an example of that, my father had taught me too. Like that's what we did when growing up too. We would always ask ahead. Like my mom, she raised us as well to do that for a man. And like with my father, he would like be cutting the grass. He would be doing those things. Those are the kind of things you would do, like get him some water. We would make sure my dad had a sandwich, things
what
like
the
that.
fuck?
For
Man, you tripping? What the fuck? Keep my bad.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, because it's a different. I'm as a younger then, so those are the actions of being cared. Ask him. We would ask him too, like, sir, what do you need? How can we assist you? And that's how we were raised as well. To do for a man in that same kind of capacity.
You call your
and
dad,
help
sir?
man. Yeah,
Are you
yes, sir. I would say we said yes, sir, and yes, ma'am in my growing up. That's a sign of respect.
No, I mean,
I don't know about.
sir.
I don't know what you got going on, but anyways. So, like I said,
self control.
I don't know. It's all how you're raised. It's how all that. So, like what I was to say is that we were raised in a Christian household as well, or a God fearing household as well. And I was really speaking of Trinity, and I making an ode to what she was talking about, as in those things start when you're younger. And they grow up and elevate as you keep getting older. And those kind of things is how you should be towards your husband. But women are not going to do that for a person that's not respectable, who's not a gentleman, who does not care about where you have a place to lay your head, who does not care about the future that you have instilled in her and in the children. So those things come natural to, I feel like, Trinity. Or you could correct me, Trinity, was that something that came natural to you, or did you have to grow in that with your husband?
No, it was natural.
Because of how you were raised, correct?
Absolutely, in a Christian household. Yep.
Right. So those things come out, and I think sometimes, unfortunately, people who are not saved, people who are not grounded,
Your father wasn't around. We could understand that.
Sir, you don't know shit about me. You're gonna piss me the fuck off.
Hello.
First of all,
Hello, guys.
you okay? I'm gonna get to you, Beauty.
Her
My
father
bad.
wasn't
Because
around.
I had both of my motherfucking parents around. So don't even. You know what? We can do this. You can talk. You can take a time out. You can take a time out in the comments, okay? Beauty, you can go ahead. So sorry about that. I just want to say I'm not gonna add you up, and I'm gonna put you down every fucking single time, because don't assume and don't act fucking crazy on this app. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Sydney.
Hi, guys. How are you?
That's what I'm talking about, Sydney.
Right.
Go ahead, Beauty.
Okay, so my name is Natasha. I just stopped in because, have a few minutes and I have stuff to do, but I stopped in. Something told me to stop into this live. But when I heard Kennedy speaking, I was like, okay, that's why I stopped in, so the thing is, what you're saying, I really agree with. I feel like when you're saved, it's different, right? What you said, basically. And then what Trinity was saying made me, I came up with a question for Trinity, and probably you too, or anyone who kind of agree with how, what Trinity was saying. Do you guys think that, despite, okay, let me see. It comes natural, right? However, do you also think that if a person doesn't even have to really tell you, right, what to do when you're connected? Does that sound weird? Do I sound weird right now? Because I feel weird.
No, No,
Keep going.
no, that's what she's saying. That's what Trinity, exactly what Trinity said. She don't. It's almost like you guys are in unison. That's what you're trying to say. It's like you're in unison. You know, from the past couple times, when your man gets home from work, he's just so tired. He needs to decompress. He doesn't have to tell you he needs to decompress. You know that. So you, as a helpmate, you get in the hey babe, do you want? She as a wife, she goes and says, hey babe, would you like X, Y, and Z? You know what he likes, so you give him options. Would you like, if he drinks or whatever, or if he want you, baby, you want some water, you want something to drink, you ready for dinner, you ready for this, you need a bath, you need this. The thing is, the caveat, y'all, is where people get a down is when you're doing those things and you don't get a return. You don't, as a woman, you don't get the safety, you don't get the comfort, you don't get the softness, you don't get the man that's there for you to be able to say, like, babe, these are my stresses, these are my woes, and he doesn't like lash out at you for having those things or having human emotions. But yes, you're not crazy at all.
Yeah. So I needed. All right. So are you asking? I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, because the thing is,
No. Don't tell me the story. Just ask the question.
right. So the question is, I'm gonna say it the best way I can, as I'm gonna just blurt it out how it's coming. So just in case, because I don't really know how to ask it to make sure I get it out exactly, but I'm gonna just try. So what I'm saying is, if you're in tuned, isn't it that you just know what the person needs?
Yes, definitely. And it's not so much as being in tune as much as it was me and my observation of him. I just paid attention.
Like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna tell you a story, like, obviously, right, because we don't want to do that, right, but I'm gonna tell you that I felt a certain way, this way that I felt I never felt before, and I was scared, right, and this person was not here, okay, we're not married or anything like that, it's just, we have a really good connection, it seems, but this person, when I contacted them, they said exactly what I needed to help me out of that rut. Now, or it was more so the timing, it was more so do you understand what I mean? Like, it was the timing, it was what was said, and it was just perfect timing because I was just like...
Okay, I see what you're saying. And I'm going to have to say, yes, there is you guys are pretty much on the same frequency.
Yeah, that's...
So he was able to assist you. So, yeah, that happens. Now, let me ask you this. The person that you are in a relationship with...
I'm not in a relationship with him.
Oh, you're not?
It's not, yeah, it's not
okay.
Not like that. What is a relationship? A relationship is when you, like, married or boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not there yet.
I like that you said the word yet. So, and if it's not a yet, is that an indication that there's a possibility that it can turn into one later on?
Hopefully, on my part,
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm asking this question because I'm going to say this. You are going about it absolutely the correct way.
Really?
Yes, because let me tell you something. When you most women's husbands are in their friend zones.
Right.
My guy, I met him in 2003. We became best friends in 2007, and we've been best friends since 2020 until we got together. And in 2021, we got married.
Right.
All right. And it's because with your friend, especially if it's your best friend, you give them mercy, you give them grace, you extend all those things, right? You've learned their character in a way that you will be excusing of their behavior because their behavior in that moment is not them. So there's something that may be wrong or something underlying that you may not be aware of, and you give them grace. Right?
Right.
So when you get with your friend and you marry your friend, What you are doing is marrying a lifelong partner, for lack of better terms, because you already know all their in and outs. And when you get into a relationship with them, let me tell you, girlfriend, you're going to learn more about them that you never even knew existed.
That's what I'm kind of scared of.
Don't be
I'm not
afraid, because let
scared,
me
like-
tell you something.
Definitely.
What my marriage helps me with is my personal growth.
Yeah.
Relationships are for you to experience yourself as yourself. And without the other person, there is no you. You cannot be kind in the absence of someone who is unkind. You cannot be loving to someone who is mean. You cannot be comforting to someone who is agitated.
Well, here's the thing. I'm in an abusive situation now, and that person is a friend, and that person is a real friend. I know because
Wait, what?
Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Wait,
That doesn't make sense because friends don't abuse. Friends
no,
don't.
not him.
No, so she's saying she's in a relationship with someone else, and she's speaking.
Why
to
are you
her
in
friend.
that relationship?
Well,
I'm sorry, I don't want to get personal. My
yeah,
bad.
you don't have to get too personal, but
Yeah.
I kind of brought in a broad answer. I'm in a situation that it's kind of hard to get out of. Well, at least I don't know the avenue and I'm not sure. You know, first of all, let me just start saying, I don't even trust myself anymore all the time. This person helped me. The way they respond, they help me come back to who I used to be, and probably even a better person. Now I'm starting to trust myself again. I know it sounds weird, but it's the truth.
You know, unfortunately, I'm gonna stop you right there, only because I just see I've been on a lot of these panels and stuff, and I can see how the focus would change from the prompt and what we're talking about to someone's personal thing, and then like people just keep getting more and more questions of why and who and where and da 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 da. So I don't want it to start going towards you because it could get into a negative space. So we're gonna move it back towards the prompt though and make it less personal by you know. He gave. So let's look at this prompt real quick.
Yeah, and real quick, that's exactly why I said I don't want it to get personal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries. It's
I
an
didn't
easy
even
way,
read
and
the
we like to, you know, we like to talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's no worries, but we got to be mindful of the other people on the panel.
Yeah.
And so
I want to
he gave
apologize.
you-
I apologize because I didn't
No,
even
you
read
don't
the prompt.
please don't apologize. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, if we go back to your situation and I have to say it again, that's something to apologize about. But no, you're totally fine. Like, we're just gonna redirect. That's what we're doing. So he gave you the soft life while denying himself his true identity. What y'all think? Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Wait.
say that.
God.
Read that last part again.
While denying himself his
true
true identity. What is his true? I don't know the.
Hey, and again, these are just
He don't-
these
he
are just
doesn't
prompts.
even
These are just
possible?
prompts, man. These are not Amon's
I-
actual words.
You know,
No, I get that. I'm trying
I was
to.
talking to the host. He wrote it, right? So
No. Like, so again, he just
I think I got
just
it.
make these up. You could just, you know what I'm saying? It might not be particularly.
This relates to me because in the beginning, my guy wasn't my guy the way he is today. So his thing was 50-50. He came in wanting the 50-50, and I'm like, no, sweetheart, you got a wife. I don't know how to perform like a girlfriend. And not only do you have a wife, but I am a submissive feminine wife. And I don't do 50-50 because I need a provider's mindset. Because a provider's mindset will afford me the opportunity to feel secure, to grow while making mistakes. It'll give me a sense of safety to where, you know, I know that things will not go wrong because of me, type thing. So he had to really, truly rearrange his whole entire way of moving in a relationship for me. Now he is that provider who pays for everything. Where before he used to try to convince me to be that 50-50 type of woman. But I'm like, I have a calling. And with my calling, I can't do 50-50. The way God is moving me, I need to be secure in knowing that my survival is taken care of and I don't have to worry about it. So you cannot put me out there and think that I'm going to be able to do what I need to do in here and be sufficient. Work with my strength and don't try to force me to move where I'm weakest. And he understood that. When I said it like that, he understood that. So he did have to.
Girl, you need to write that. You need to message that shit to me. That's my speech of a lifetime. Because yes, I'm gonna throw some flowers your way. Here we go.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and it's because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question about what you just said?
Absolutely.
Oh yes. So what prompted you knowing who you were as far as your wanting to be in your feminine energy and wanted a man who was, I guess, what you define as a leader? Why would you start with him?
Why would I start with him?
Yes. Why'd you accept his advances knowing he was a 50-50 type man?
First of all, he didn't advance me. He didn't make any advances. Oh my God, this guy was a hard catch. So to answer
Okay.
Let me answer the question, right?
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
And it's going to answer the next question you're about to answer. You're about to ask me, okay? So when I got tired of being sick and tired of getting the same results, I decided that I needed a change. And I read somewhere that in order for me to see change, I have to be the change myself so that I can experience my own reflection back to me, which is change. So I redefined myself by taking out a sheet of paper, opening up Google, and went to thesauruses, and I wrote down every adjective that I wanted to embody. Thoughtful, kind, considerate, pleasant, caring, soft, blah, blah, snore, snore. And each day I implemented each one of those things while keeping to the other until you see who I am now. So then now I'm like, all right, boom. I got into the Bible and I'm realizing that I love the biblical wife's persona, because it resonated with me. So I took on their character traits, I took on their mindsets, and I began to carry their attitudes. In doing so, God made it to where we were placed under the same roof as roommates. So now I didn't have to compete for him. I didn't have to chase him. All I had to do was put myself into position to be recognized by him as his wife. So I was being me the way that I am now without the title. So when I cooked, I didn't cook for me and not him. I cooked for him and I, and whatever I did for him and I.
I agree with that. But everybody look at this real quick. We got all these people. Hold on. No, I'm just doing a mod break. We got all these people. I know for a fact I did those 1,000 likes. Me personally, I put those 1,000 likes. So I know you guys have not liked almost nothing. So if y'all want to sit up in here, please support the live. Please, 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 please support the live. Tap, tap, tappity, tap. Okay, I see we got 50 taps. Also, I can see when you're all tapping or not. So please, if you guys don't mind, tapping up the screen. If your mic is off, you might as well tap. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then share if you don't mind, because we only have one share. That share wasn't for me. I'm about to share too. But yeah, we only have one share. Come on, y'all. Y'all like Amon's live. Come on now. Don't do that. Sunshine, help me out. CFO, sorry, I had to do my thing. I was disappointed with the amount of likes. It made me sad.
Oh yes, I just didn't know when you were finished, so I just waited. So yeah, Trinity. So the second question I was about to ask was, and I heard what you said, knowing he was 50-50, what prompted you to or him pursuing you and you saying he needs to change?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to process the question. Knowing that he was 50-50, why did I didn't make him change. I just stayed the same. I didn't stop doing what I was doing. And he accepted that. I didn't say, oh, you're going to be with me. No, I just continued to be me. My thing was I was okay being who I am and how we were either way. I didn't need the title. So I just needed his presence. It was when.
Oh, maybe the.
Go ahead.
Sorry. When you paused, I thought you were finished. So maybe I heard you incorrectly, or please correct me where I'm wrong in my thought. Your initial statement was you told him, look, I am this type of woman, and he was a 50-50 man, and that he needed to become the provider in the way that you like, for you could be in your essence of femininity or flourish the way you would like.
We never went 50-50. That's the thing. So the thing is this. He again. All right. Let me explain. Let me explain. All right. So when we became roommates, it wasn't a thing where we were going to live together forever. It was supposed to be temporary. But of course, you know, when you live with somebody, you're around somebody, feelings evolve, and then you want to get into a relationship. So we kind of just, you know, fell into, or it was like the next logical step, right? We are in a relationship now. Now, when we are in a relationship, I'm letting this man know that I am a wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he took over. When we got into the relationship, he took over the rent. Because his thing was, well, if I'm going to be staying here, then I'm going to take over the rent. Because if I was living where I was living by myself, I would be paying my own rent anyway. This is just his mindset. He doesn't want to like not do what he normally does. So then when after we got married, he thought that was going to change. And I'm like, no, that's not. Why would I change? That's how that happened.
I'm just glad you guys are still together, I guess, because that sounds just quite, to me, the opposite of what you initially said, where now you're saying you naturally changed, but yet you said before you were married or before you...
What do you mean I naturally changed?
No. And you said that you were not going to change, meaning you were just going to be who you are, and that he needs to change. I.e., when y'all were just roommates, it sounded like y'all were going 50-50, maybe in the bills, let's call it that. And then once you became a relationship, he just wanted to, as you said, take over, meaning pay at least all the rent, as you stated.
So here's the thing. 50-50 to me is about money. That provider is a mindset. I needed a provider's mindset. Now, I have money to, you know, to pay for whatever else. It's not a thing where I was broke and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to. Hold on. When I said I wasn't going to change, meaning that I wasn't going to stop being the person who I was when he showed up, that he grew to like and admire and adore and love. I am not going to stop being that. You understand? Also, I had a calling that I was already moving in before he came. That's not going to stop just because he arrived, is what I'm getting at when I said I'm not going to change. I'm going to stay on my square. I'm going to keep moving in the direction that I knew that God was leading me. And for me to get off of that course and move in where he wants me to move, because it got it was a little bit of pressure for him that he didn't think he could handle. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. God has me going here. You have to learn to trust God. You have to get a better relationship with God, so that you can endure and you can get blessings and you can get opportunities. But do not ask me to change my course or to change who I am and why I'm here because of your discomfort. That's what I mean. So when I hear 50-50, I don't know. For me, it's 100-100. He's a provider. I'm a supporter. Together, we are magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
How is it 100-100 if you're not financially?
Because I'm giving all of me, baby. I'm giving all of my heart. I'm giving all of myself, and I'm giving all that I have. Everything that I have
Just no money.
Is
so
his.
It's not 100-100.
Honey, he gets the money. So I don't own money. We just simply have money. Money is just simply there.
To your point, Ms. Trinity, I think what's not being heard, which is probably what you're assuming that we understand, is that no matter who makes the money, it's all one.
It's just money. It's not my
Fair.
money. Yeah.
I mean, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's key because y'all started out as roommates, and there was no oneness, as that's the term I use, when it comes to the contributions financially, as you define what 50-50 means. But in essence, both parties are giving their all, so they cancel out each other, essentially. So it's
Also said that she was they were friends first. Like it wasn't like, I think that a lot of the times people are not friends first and they just boom, relationship. I like you, you like me, we got these things in common. I think that you're a decent person, you're not a weirdo, you're not a schmurderer, you're not a unaliver, you're not a kid toucher, you're good, boom. Let's be in a relationship.
So
I said most
Cindy,
people, not me.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what
I agree.
most people.
What I did not understand from my original point was why she even brought up the word 50-50 when they sound like they went into this relationship first.
Her relationship.
Already knew who she was.
Right, but before when they were friends. Because what I got from it is before when they were friends, she could evaluate that that's the type of dude he was.
Phone. I heard everything, Sydney. My bad. My hands was tied up. But I understand his confusion. I understand his confusion, and I understand what he's saying. So, like, I think that's just a point.
The problem was, and I think me and CFO has the same confusion, is that she was saying that he was 50-50 and she wanted a provider, but now she's saying that they both put financial stake in the game. So then you guys were never really 50-50 in the first, like he was never 50-50 and you're not 50-50.
Right.
Like,
Can I explain it? Because you guys aren't hearing it. I understand exactly what she's saying.
No, we understand it. It just that she made just doesn't apply. We understand exactly what she's saying.
Okay, hold on. Let me explain it.
Answer. She's right here.
First of all, he never had let him tell it. I'm the first submissive feminine. Was his mentality going into relationships. Coming with me, he developed a provider's mindset and attitude.
Respectfully. Remember my first question? Why, knowing who he was, did you continue or go into a relationship with a man that didn't align with you?
Because she was his friend, and she knew.
Let her answer that. Answer that.
But she had already answered it. So I'm trying to tell you, as somebody, I want to hold on. I want to answer because I don't want her to say if I'm correct. They were friends before. In previous relationships, as they were friends, he could see that's a type of history he had of 50-50. She says, I have developed skills in femininity that I am not going to tolerate that if you want to be in a relationship with me. But she also said before, when you start off as a friend, you give them grace. You understand their shortcomings, and you will sometimes set those things aside because of other qualities and attributes that they have exhibited towards you, because you've seen that in a friendship zone more than a relationship zone. So they get more grace because they had been friends prior to that. It wasn't like we had just agreed, CFO. A lot of people just go from I like you, and those other things I said right into a relationship. She didn't do that. It was a gradual thing, and so she was able to see, like, yes, he has these other attributes that I do like, but I am not going to, regardless of how I have set myself this way, that I want a provider. I want somebody who's going to provide for me and allow me to be in my feminine and give me the safety. Is that correct, Trinity?
Kind of, sort of. But here's the thing. What everybody is missing. The provider is not about the money. It's about the mindset. I needed a provider. Hold on, please. I needed a provider's mindset, not a 50-50 attitude. The provider is not about the money as much as you guys are making it out to be. And for me, we were aligned, And the reason why I accepted him was because we were aligned. To me, I saw him as a provider. I saw him as a provider while we were friends. What he thought I was looking for in terms of provision was everything being paid. And it wasn't until he realized that's not what I was meaning is when he was like, okay, I am a provider. That's what you're missing.
So,
we were aligned.
I'm not missing. Trust me.
No,
I'm a
you
good
are,
listener.
because you said, why would I
And-
accept him if he wasn't aligned with me, right?
All right.
Yes, because
Well,
he
we have
pers-
some new people on
Oh
the
wow, I can't even.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead and finish your thoughts, CFO. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna land with this, man. Here's where, and I'm not calling it flip flop, but here's where the confusion lies. This man is saying, you said he's always been a provider, but he didn't see it. But yet, when you were roommates, y'all were paying 50-50. But you said that the definition of
50.
I know you didn't. You said money is the difference. Did you not?
Never split bills in half is what I'm getting.
I didn't say half. Okay, so maybe it was 60-40, maybe it was 70-30. Bottom line is, was he now, because you only centered around the word rent, because we know there's more bills that you guys were, I guess, potentially sharing. But I'm just using the words you used. So if I could finish, what I'm saying is that where's confusion, because in one breath, you're the submissive woman, respectfully. It works for you, no doubt. But the man that you chose to accept, he presented himself as you saw him as a quote unquote provider, protector, blah, 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 without the money here. But yet he didn't see himself as such. That you initially in the very onset of this question brought in the word 50-50, where you said you didn't see him as a 50-50. So I don't understand why you called him a 50-50. But then you said because it's the money, where he started saying, well, I'm going to now start paying all the bills, which means y'all were sharing the bills. So that was the only unknown that you filled in the gap for, which was money.
Okay. Thank you,
So
CFO.
now that he's paying, boom.
Okay, we're gonna
You
go.
always had a provider.
We're
You
good.
had that man.
We're gonna go on to Brandy. Thanks so much, Brandy. You can speak on the prompt, and yeah.
And host, I'll make room. I'll drop down. Appreciate everybody on the
Thanks,
line.
CFO. We
Hey,
appreciate you.
congratulations to everybody in the relationship. You know, I'll holler at you, Amun.
Thanks, CFO. We'll see you. He's probably at work.
Oh, okay. I saw him in the comments.
I'll let him know. Yeah. I'll let him know.
Yeah. So the traditional. Hi, I'm Brandy. I'm from Georgia. Okay. The traditional man is a turn off on an ambitious woman. Huh. Because tradition sometimes doesn't always mean correct. And when I say that, people do what they're accustomed, what they know. You can't do anything that you don't know. I think traditional, when you describe a man as traditional, like if I look at my father, then I look at my grandfather and even my uncles, and, you know, because I was raised in a two-parent household. The tradition of my parents are my father's a provider. That's traditional for me. I'm not saying that my mother's not ambitious, because she's also a doctor. Like, she went to school, she did her thing. Everything wasn't always peaches and cream, but they had a great relationship. That, like, they still have a great relationship even in retirement. So I can't say that it's a turnoff for an ambitious woman. I watched ambition and tradition in the same household all my life. Like, I can't say that that's a turnoff. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Am I
think
muted?
ambitious.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think ambitious is just a very, very open term. Like, you can use it in any sense. Like, I think, you know, this is my assumption, that when someone says ambitious, they're talking about, because even the prompt kind of alludes to it, right? Like, this woman doesn't look like she's cooking and cleaning in a house constantly, right? Like, she looks like she's a professional. And
Exactly.
I think that the prompt is kind of, I think that the prompt is kind of talking about, like, the ambitious woman is someone who's like a working woman, someone who wants to work their way up in a company, maybe become a CEO, you know, like the CFO, whatever, just some type of high role in a job. And the traditional man doesn't typically want a woman like that.
Oh, well, I watched it on both ends. Like I said, my mother, I watched her work her way through school. I watched my dad get up and go to work, and he was just a traditional, I ain't gonna say he a plain Jane, but he was a traditional man. You know, he took care of his family. He took care of his household. He didn't play around his household. You know, I watched that. So I don't get it. I don't get the prompt. Because if you knew how much work it actually, yeah.
And he goes to work. That's what traditional. What people
I've
say
never seen
traditional,
that.
That's no. I
Okay,
get
well,
that, Brandy.
I've never seen that in my entire life.
I got
I've
you,
never
Brandy.
seen
I'm just
that.
saying that's
Yeah.
when people talk about traditional man and traditional woman.
They're
what I
talking
just
about back
described
in
is
the
typically
days.
what they're talking about.
They're talking about the stay-at-home wife, and the man works outside the home. That was traditional.
Right.
So,
That's typically what you're.
yeah, because today is
about.
modern, which is the opposite of the way we moved back then, right?
What are you calling back then?
Back then, when the women were not working
I was
out the house
born in
yet.
the 70s.
No. Back further than that. Back further
Okay,
than
my
that.
grandfather was born in the 30s, and my grandmother, she
okay,
literally tilled her land and sold her product.
I understand, but when we are
saw
talking,
that.
but that's, I understand that's not what you're accustomed to. What I'm saying is that in general, when everyone is speaking about the term traditional, regardless of how we think traditional look, there's a census that says traditional marriages were when it was back then, before women were working out the home and were only in the house and the men worked. So traditionally, should I say like this? There was a time back then where traditionally every wife stayed home and the men went out to work. That was the modern time back then.
Can you
That
give
was
me
the
a
modern
timeline?
I mean,
Brandy, I think the timeline is irrelevant. I would suggest
it's
here's what
there.
you say, Brandy.
It's there.
Yeah, Brandy.
The timeline would have had to been in the 30s and.
Honey,
Brandy, I would suggest
it goes back to the 1800s, then early 1900s.
it goes back even further than that. 1500s.
I'm just saying that was traditional. Before this became,
what
there
I'm
was
saying,
something else.
Okay, the reason why I asked for that timeline is because you're bringing something from the 1800s, the early 1900s up until 2025.
Yes,
the timeline is irrelevant. We're talking about what a tradition.
I'm just asking.
We're talking about the term.
So
The answer is
you
yes.
can't want the times.
Yes, that's exactly. She's right.
Okay.
That's exactly what's going on.
Brandy,
I'm just asking.
No, to be absolutely fair,
That's exactly what's happening. Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
that's an outdated term, right? We can absolutely debate that. To be fair, like nobody's not gonna, argue that point. We're just simply saying in society, yes, a term from the 15, 16, 1700s is what they go by in 2025. That's it.
And it's because, let me tell you why. It's because there was a way.
I don't know. Maybe it's too early in the morning.
Well, I mean, it's because it's considered the original way, right? Before feminism and all these other governmental things took place, right? So before all of that took place, there was a way, even with the black families, that's when black families were even strongest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is when
true.
I what is not true, and I didn't even say where they were strongest because you literally cut me off. I'm sorry. When did the middle of my statement interrupt the beginning of yours?
When you made something that's not true.
All right.
I didn't even say anything for you to even determine if it was true or not, love. How is that possible for you to know what I was going to say to disagree with me?
That's not a real statement. Like
I didn't
you'd have
finish
to
the
have some
statement.
type of objective.
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Finish your statement.
No need.
My bad.
No need.
No.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah. So, thank you, Trinity. I think that
Wait,
say that
Billy, what we're not going to do is be disrespectful. That was not cool, and it was unnecessary.
how was I disrespectful?
Yeah, because if you don't agree with somebody, that's one thing. But don't interrupt people, and don't be and have that belittling ass
You didn't allow her to finish.
that you are the
I don't
all
think it's
fucking
belittling at
knowing.
all.
Yes, you did. I'm telling you. Hold on. I'm telling you, you didn't even let her finish.
His
You didn't, and that was rude.